Hey guys, welcome to another one of our live session. It is the 19th of April at 8 a.m. on Sunday, New Zealand time. And yeah, we are doing a live session every single week to help you plan the best trip possible to New Zealand. But why are we the best people in place to be able to help people?
Well, this is Robin and I'm Laura, and we're the team behind NZPocketGuide.com, which is New Zealand's largest travel guide and has thousands and thousands and thousands of articles about traveling in New Zealand. And it covers all sort of travel styles as well. It's not just backpackers, but it's also about people doing working holidays, traveling with kids, doing honeymoons, all that sort of thing. We cover all that on NZPocketGuide.com. But if you're not really into reading, we do this live Q&A session as well on YouTube at every single Sunday, 8 a.m. New Zealand time. And just so you know the times around the world, Robin will show you.
It's here, boom.
Our trusty board. So in the UK and France, sort of general Europe area, that is 9 or 10 p.m. on a Saturday evening. In the US, that is on a Saturday at 4 p.m. EST and 1 p.m. PST. In India, that is bright and early on a Sunday morning at 1:30 a.m. And in Australia, that is also pretty early on a Sunday morning at 6 a.m. So what we do during this live Q&A session is that we go through your questions that you ask in the live chat. That's pretty much the best place to come to get your questions answered about traveling in New Zealand. But also throughout the week, if you do have any questions, just in case you missed the live chat session, we compile the questions onto this piece of paper here that you guys have asked in the comments section, and we go through that as well during this Q&A session.
Easy as.
Easy.
All right, so what is happening in the live chat already? JT23 say, hey guys, how are you doing,
Hey.
JT? How's everything hanging for you? Are you, what are you doing? Are you in lockdown? What are you doing? Anthony Comstock also says, hi, this is Anthony from California in the USA. Oh,
Hello.
Anthony, did we get the time correctly? Is it 1 p.m. for you right now? Or did we mess that up again? We're having a hard time with the time conversion and everything. So is it 1 p.m. on Saturday for you, Anthony? JST say, you're staying safe. I'm in Portugal, soon going back to uni to finish my final semester in the Netherlands. I'm waiting for my 23 months visa. Fingers crossed for you, man. So as you know, Immigration New Zealand is currently closed, so you won't be able to hear from them until quite a while. They just, they are working with as little staff as possible right now to respect all the social distancing or physical distancing, as is now more proper to say.
Yeah, and in New Zealand, it's only the essential workers that are working right now, and I guess immigration visas and stuff aren't completely essential.
Yeah, so the staff which is working right now in Immigration New Zealand only processes application for health workers and essential workers. So your working holiday visa, JT, is in the back burner, so it's only going to be processed when they decide to reopen. But we should hear a little bit more about that in about a week, so we probably will be talking about that next week or the week, probably the week after, actually, because they will do an announcement, not this Monday, but next Monday. So yeah. And Anthony said that was correct with the time. Boom, woohoo. Dynamite. Okay, thank you very much, Anthony. Keep us in check if we ever get it wrong. Just tell us. So are you planning a trip to New Zealand soon, Anthony, or as soon as it clears, or what's the plan, Anthony? What brings you in here? Extreme Talota says, Morena, guys. Morena. If you guys don't know, Morena means good morning in Maori. JT asked, in a week there will be an update. Okay, in 2 weeks. So in short, the New Zealand government is supposed to be doing an update on the lockdown tomorrow. So on next Sunday, we'll be able to cover that and address as well like some of the consequences that this will have. What we really try to do is that we try to not spread any misinformation, and we're really focusing really hard on giving you just the actual fact that there is. Now, Speaking of that, we can actually just address one question that we receive really, really, really often. So we can talk about that right now. And it's about the border closure in New Zealand. So due to the current events, the borders of New Zealand are closed, and many borders around the world are closed right now. And it's likely that they will remain closed for quite a while.
Yeah. So we were just going to talk a little bit about what we sort of maybe speculate about the border closures. Obviously, it's not official information, but from various government sources, that sort of thing, like official sources, we've kind of got a bit of a touch on what the border closures may look like in the upcoming future. So basically, in short, it looks like that the border closure could be closed for up to 12 months. Do you want to explain a little bit more about that?
Yeah, so just before we get started, so the first thing that I want to point out is that what we're going to be saying right now is our speculation, and it's not 100% true, and I'm going to explain to you why we are thinking that. So the New Zealand Treasury Department, which is basically the part of the New Zealand government which oversees the economy and help advise the government on economic policy. They have released a report analyzing the consequences on the economy of the current situation, right? And in this report, they outlined 5 different scenarios. So there is a chart in the report that has 5 different scenarios. And all the scenarios highlighted include some kind of border closure for 12 months. So this New Zealand Treasury did not even consider any option that would not include a border closure for up to 12 months. So that means that we are thinking that this is likely to be the case. Also, well, there is just no cure or anything like that right now. So you can't guarantee the health and safety of everybody or anyone coming in. Now, couple of caveats right here. First up, that doesn't mean that the border is going to be fully closed for a whole 12 months. It's likely that most countries will actually reopen gradually. So, for example, they will reopen probably to Australia first, because New Zealand and Australia have really good ties, and also because they're 2 kind of isolated places, so you are likely to kind of contain things easier. New Zealand is also likely to open its border to the South Pacific Islands as well, because the South Pacific Islands so far only have a very, very little amount of cases and are also very isolated as they are islands. So your country, where you're from, should it be the US, or should it be India, or should it be China, or should it be the Europe, or anything like that? Your country may not be locked out of New Zealand for a whole 12 months. It may just be locked out of New Zealand, let's say, for 8 months, and then this other country is going to be 12 months, and so on, monitoring the situation in each of those countries. So that's one of the kind of caveat that I want to put. So it doesn't. The border will be somehow closed, but not to everybody as well. Also, if you are an essential worker, you probably will be able to come to New Zealand, because we do need a lot of essential workers. So that's where we are right now. So there is going to be, so right now we're recording this video on the 19th of April. There is going to be an announcement on the 20th of April, and we will cover that next week. I just wanted to give you a little bit of understanding around where is New Zealand at the moment and what you can expect. Now, that doesn't mean that you can't plan your trip to New Zealand just yet. It probably just means that you're going to have to postpone it a little bit, and that gives you time. So technically, it's a silver lining. You will have much more time to be able to plan your trip to New Zealand, and when you hit the ground in New Zealand, you'll be able to start up like on the right foot. So that's where we are as well. Another thing that is going to be important to take in consideration is airline coverage. There is a lot of airlines that have stopped routes. For example, New Zealand doesn't have hardly any international routes running at the moment, and restarting airline routes takes time as well. So the border may just be like, okay, the border is open tomorrow to everybody. It doesn't mean the plane starts flying straight away. It does take a lot of time to put a plane into locked down or into storage to store a plane. I think I was reading is over 400 hours of man work to put one plane into storage. So that means that it's probably the same amount of hours to put a plane back into the skies. So you also have to kind of keep that in mind, that it will be very, very gradual. And it's not just waiting for an announcement that the lockdown is over and then everybody can flock to New Zealand. Also, it may be advisable to actually wait a couple of months after the border reopen for you to start traveling, because most of the operators, rental companies, the hotel, all of that, a lot of them are putting themselves in kind of a hibernation. So that means they're not necessarily going to be like all back and running at full speed just yet. So you may kind of want to take that into consideration when planning your trip. Obviously, this is not to say don't plan your trip to New Zealand at all. It's just to give you a little bit of context, as it is a question that we probably received at least 100 times this week. So I thought we would address that. Again, mostly speculation. Is just based on the report from the New Zealand Treasury Department, and there will be an announcement this week, this coming week, and we will cover that next Sunday.
Yeah, exactly. As soon as there are official announcements, and we do have some actual, official information, like we've done in past videos, we will do a special video dedicated to the changes of travel restrictions and stuff to New Zealand. So yeah, so you guys stay up to date with that.
Yeah. And of course, if you do need to cancel your trip that you already planned, usually most of the travel companies and airlines and everything are pretty flexible at the moment, because they understand the situation.
Yeah. Exactly.
All right. I hope you find this video useful. Make sure to like, subscribe if you want to stay up to date with whatever is happening with the New Zealand travel world. All right, let's go back to live chat. JT is asking a week. There will be an update 2 weeks. Yeah, so next Sunday, basically, we will cover the whole update. We probably will read most of the stuff right here during this live session.
Yeah.
And JT is asking if there is a website where you can read about the announcement. Yes, just go on the immigration website. There is a big red sign on there. So immigration.govt.nz. There's a big red sign right on top. Just click on there and you have some of the latest announcements. And you also are linked to other websites from the government that cover the subject.
Yeah, so that's immigration.govt.nz. Just in case you said that a bit fast.
Okay, Christina Holden. Hey, Christina, how are you doing?
Hey.
Good afternoon, morning from Ottawa. Hey, Canada.
Beautiful impression.
Never going to stop that. We are still planning our trip for October, November, and only going to postpone if we need. Yeah, and that's the right approach. Again, what I was saying right now is it's speculation. It's based on one government report, and we don't know just yet. So yeah, that's the right approach. That's what I would do as well. And we do have some trips planned for some of the South Pacific Island and some of other regions of New Zealand. It's just on hold for now, and as soon as we can, boom, we pull the trigger and we off. I can't wait. Anthony say, I'm planning a trip. I have obligations, so it won't be for a long time, but I'm planning ahead. That's good, Anthony.
Yeah.
Right on this channel, we got a lot of people that pop in, ask us questions, plan the trip. So very often we do itineraries on the map and all that. And usually when we get people coming back after their trip and say, hey, thank you, that was really useful and everything, people actually tell us they had the best trips are usually people that we've seen for like months, coming over. So like planning a little bit more, because it's quite surprising. I mean, I know you're from the USA, right? And I spent some time in the USA. Around Flagstaff, great place. But I went to California for a few days. Anyway, you guys are used to you go to one city and then there is a lot to do right here. And then it's a very long distance. And then there is a lot to do here. And it's a very different way to travel. And you can get away traveling most of the US by plane, right? In New Zealand, it's very much, and it's more of the same, but it's all about the journey, So you go from point A to point B, but on the road from point A to point B, there's 3 or 4 things you want to do. And then there is like 1 or 2 things on A and on B, and then you move on and then you do that along the way as well. So it's much more of a jam-packed stuff, and it's very different way to travel. So taking more time to plan it, I think, is just going to be a good benefit to you, Anthony.
Yeah.
Just my opinion. JT says you can still fly around in Europe. The world is so different. Oh, really? You can? I thought most of the airlines had kind of stopped services. From our side. So in New Zealand, you can still fly around New Zealand, but only if you're an essential worker and only if you fly for work, I think, something like that. Yeah. So there's like a lot of conditions right now.
Yeah.
Thanks for the update. So my plan was to go in. Do you know potentially how long this could be delayed by? Well, as I just said, if it's 12 months, that means to April 2021, But obviously, we're not sure. We really do not know yet.
Yeah.
And, come back to next week when we actually do a full update on what we know. But again, it's going to be always changing. I genuinely believe that even with a government update this week that we're going to cover next Sunday, this can change the following month and can change the following month. And I don't think the decision, whatever they're going to update us with, they're going to give us a 30 days window and that's it. So I will do like Christina is doing right now, which is kind of like, you have your trip planned and then, you kind of cancel it only if you have to.
Yeah, it's good to have the right expectations and not, don't really get your hopes up to come in September and be like, yeah, I'm going in September. It's more like, okay, if it's possible, I'll go in September. But it's just kind of know that it's very likely that maybe that would be pushed back a little.
Yeah. We booked. So Christina says we booked flight in January and hope to still be able to come. We've got our fingers crossed for you, Christina. But if it's not January, push it a few more months, and that should be fine. Extreme Tolota say, how are you guys? We're doing pretty awesome.
Good.
Thank you very much. How are you doing? Still no fried bread, just so you know. No fried bread just yet. Christina says, hubby and I are doing well, enjoying your video from the gap here. And I was wondering how you got the music for the beginning. It's great. I've had this music for like a very long time. It's one of those things like royalty-free music that you need to, I think you get them either on YouTube or on there are some websites where you can buy royalty-free music, and I think that's where I got it. So it's just that, and you pay like I think you pay like $30, and it's like unlimited use or something like that. So you get like that's why we only have like a handful of music on the channel, because it costs money every time. But yeah, it's a cool one. Are you planning on making videos when you're traveling? Is that what you're asking about the music? Because if you do video, we want to watch it. We like watching videos of people traveling. Laishai is a cool man.
A cool man. Lachi is a cool man.
Lachi is a cool man. Oh my God, I didn't see this one. Lachi, you're a cool man.
Yeah.
So Lachi says New Zealand is cool.
Well, yeah.
Since you're
probably
cool
like
man.
you, Lachi.
Yeah.
If you're the cool man you're referring to in your username.
Aditya Dash says, why do Kiwi touch noses to say hello? So that's called a hongi, and it's a traditional Maori greeting.
Yeah. So it's just it's a cultural thing. It's like, how some people shake hands. The Eskimos touch noses as
Inuit
well.
in Canada, if I'm correct.
Yeah.
Christina, maybe is that do the Inuit? Christina is from Canada in the live chat. Does the Inuit in Canada, they touch nose to say hello as well, right?
Yeah.
We'll tell us.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's kind of a traditional greeting, and it's kind of a sign of respect. It's all about breathing in and breathing out.
So you touch the nose and the forehead with the person that you're greeting, and you just hold there for about a second, and you usually have your eyes closed, breathing in and then out, and then disengage and get on with the day.
Yeah. So actually, if you want to see a guy actually teaching us how to do the hongi, you can check out, if you go on our channel, you just type NZ Pocket Guide and then you type Tamaki, Tamaki, or you can also type Waitangi, spell that. Waitangi. Here you go. So and then you will see actually Maori people actually teaching us the hongi, which is quite a cool video, and you learn more about the New Zealand Maori culture, which is really awesome.
And George and Ray's on the live chat just said, not going to be touching any noses right now, haha. Well, there actually is a thing in New Zealand. Just when this whole situation started occurring, they said they were banning any hongi from being done. So exactly.
Yeah, so obviously don't practice your hongi right now.
Yeah, maybe later in life you can get some hongi practice in.
Exactly. So Karen Reina says, how brown people, Indians, are treated there in New Zealand? Very well. We got a lot of Indian friends, actually.
Yeah.
By the way, congratulations to Jay and Priya for their new baby. Me as well. Just two of our Indian friends just had a newborn baby. So that's really awesome. No, very, very awesome. You get some amazing Indian food as well in New Zealand. And the Indian community is quite strong here. And it's really cool.
New Zealand's a very multicultural country anyway. There's a lot of people coming here from overseas to live and work and stuff. So it's just really common to see people from all different cultures in New Zealand. So there's nothing really there's nothing too dodgy going on or anything. Yeah.
And addressing the skin color, you say brown people, right? New Zealand originally was settled by the Maoris, which have a darker skin as well. And the Maori culture is extremely important in the core of New Zealand, both in the constitution and in everyday life, right? So having a different skin tone really is of no impact whatsoever in your everyday life, because it's such a common occurrence. You know what I mean? It's not, you're not in a place where everybody's white and you will be standing out. It's definitely not the case.
Yeah.
So don't worry about that at all, Karen. Extreme Talota says, I'm good, thank you. Look up on Google on how to make a one. Yes.
We actually should. I think, I mean, we did get our massive bag of flour, as you know, from previous live videos. So, yeah, I actually think I will have a look. I will look that up. I mean, you've said it enough times.
I just want someone else to make it for
I know,
me.
it's always better when someone knows what they're doing. But no, we'll give it a go.
Melody's Ritmo says, hi, Melody. Hey. How are you doing? Jordan says, not going to touch any nose right now. Yep, you are absolutely right. Just and a hongi with a face mask wouldn't be fun anyway. Christina Holden says, cool, thanks. We may do videos, but more pictures. Barry is really great with the camera. We can share the pictures with you, of course. Yeah,
cool.
So that's something that a lot of our readers do. When you travel around New Zealand, if you want to send us a bunch of your pictures, we always need pictures of New Zealand to illustrate our travel guide. We have nzpocketguide.com, which is the largest travel guide for New Zealand. And although we have thousands of pictures of our own, it's always so handy to have pictures from other travelers.
Yeah.
So you don't even have to edit them. Just send us your batch of 200 pictures. It's always super handy. So if there's something you can do to support us, is to send us your pictures. That's always super handy. So yeah, if you want to think of doing that, Christina, loving it. Send us the Dropbox link or the Google folder or whatever, or WeTransfer,
whatever you prefer.
Yeah, there are a million different stuff. But yeah, share the pictures, guys. That's always amazing. So yeah, supporting the channel by giving us pictures is always awesome. JT says, as an estimate, how long will it take to learn Maori? Will it be worth learning? I love languages. So I am terrible with languages, as you can tell by my English. I'm originally from France, and I barely master the French language, and I'm just stumbling my way through the English language. So I wouldn't know. It really depends on your proficiency on learning a language.
Yeah.
But I've heard that it's actually not too hard of a language to learn, as soon as you're good with the pronunciation of certain
so there's
sounds.
The vowel sounds in particular, they have they're different sounds to the English vowel sounds. So I think there's a few basics that you can learn, which will also help you pronounce the place names around New Zealand a bit better, because that's definitely something that a lot of visitors get wrong, and even we still get wrong. We don't pronounce the place names absolutely spot on, but
we do get things wrong really often. So.
And people do make sure that we know that.
Again, this morning actually I was replying to a comment that someone said, it's not Tauranga, it's Turanga.
Yeah.
Something like that. So yeah, I'm really bad at pronunciation.
Yeah, but I mean, I think there's a lot of sort of classes going on around New Zealand for learning Maori, and so I think it seems like it's semi-okay to learn. But then again, I haven't learned any languages fluently anyway, so probably not the best person to ask about that.
And this is when you come from, as it comes to would it be worth learning? Honestly, if you want to learn more about a culture, definitely it's worth learning. I just don't think you're going to be using that in your everyday life ever afterwards. But if you feel like you want to learn and pay respect to the culture that you're here for, definitely it's an awesome cultural experience.
Yeah, and it would be it would be pretty amazing if you learned it in New Zealand and then was able to have a conversation with someone else that speaks Maori, because there is a lot of people in New Zealand that do, and they would be amazed. You would definitely make someone's day.
And actually, I don't know if you guys know that, but there's actually 3 official languages in New Zealand. There's not just 2. So what are they?
So it's obviously there's English, and then there's the Maori language, and then there's New Zealand Sign Language. So New Zealand does have its own version of a sign language, so that's an official language as well.
Here you go. All right. Christina says, not sure about the Inuit touching nose, but it sounds familiar. Oh, if it sounds familiar, I think I may have been right.
Oh, okay. There's no other scenario to that.
No. Well, you know what? I'll believe at some point.
Yeah.
Melody Ritmo says, what would be the best 3 things to say to someone to be able to fake like I was in New Zealand without ever going there?
Oh,
what kind of scam are you trying to pull, Melody?
Are you trying to like, I don't know, like hit on a Kiwi or something? Be like, oh yeah, I've totally been there, bro. I know all about the giant Kiwi bird in Otorohanga or something.
Oh yeah, okay. 3 things to say to someone that like you were in New Zealand. Okay. Love
that LNP.
Yeah.
LNP is a fizzy drink.
So LNP, yeah, it's a soda, right?
Yeah.
And it's kind of a lemonade. It's like picture Sprite, but yellower and with a lot of lemon. So you say, I drank a lot of LNP. That's the New Zealand soda. So here you go. That's this one.
Say kia ora.
Kia ora, that means hello in Maori, yeah. And then after like traveling wise and everything, you can say that you probably were mind blown by the sheer size of Milford Sound, because Milford Sound is like it's you go there and you can look at a picture of it, but you feel so tiny. It's really, really big. So that's really cool. And then it was. You can also tell them it was a little bit chaos to get into the ferry, but weirdly enough, it's organized chaos. So if you say that, honestly, that's the thing that I'm like, if someone tell me, I'd be like, yeah, actually, they went to New Zealand.
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah, here you go.
And Melody's just confirmed it was to impress a girl artificially. So
well, yeah, I hope.
There you go.
I hope I help you get laid, my friend. But yeah, here that's the thing that we'll say. If not, but you know what? One of the thing, Melody, just pick any of our video on the channel from the playlist called New Zealand's Biggest Gap Year. Pick any of them and you watch us. Like it's 8 minutes of like one video, and we do one activity in New Zealand. You watch 2-3 of those, and then you tell them this is the activity you've done. And within that video, honestly, you will have more information that most people actually take in from doing the activity itself. So, most people travel to New Zealand, they don't do everything. Not everybody goes to Milford Sound, not everybody skydive, not everybody does this, that. And then that's the thing. Most people trip in New Zealand, just trying to impress girls aside, most people traveling to New Zealand will have a wide different experience. And that's what we love about traveling in New Zealand. There is so much on offer here that, should it be like Christina or JT or Jordan right now traveling around New Zealand, you guys are all going to have a completely different trip, and you probably will have completely different experiences at the end. So that's why we actually did this New Zealand's Biggest Gap Year, when we tackled 365 activities in 365 days, because no one in their right mind will do that. Don't do it. We were absolutely exhausted at the end, but most people will do 10 activities around, and with that we kind of covered so much that you guys can pick whatever you like out of it. We actually, and admittedly, we've done some activities during New Zealand's Biggest Gap Year that we were not really a fan of, because that's just not our thing. But we've done them really factually to show you guys this is what you get when you do this activity. So you are able to actually judge if it's your thing or not, because it's not really our place to tell you, you're not going to like that. I don't know you guys. I don't know you, Melody. I don't know Money.
Yeah.
So
all we know about Melody is that he lies to girls.
Yeah. So if you want, going back to your question, if you want to lie to girl, honestly, go on New Zealand's Biggest Gap Year. That's one of the playlists on this channel. Watch a couple of videos and then tell them you've done those activities and give them a few facts and be like, so impressed. All right. So how about Jordan Reyes says, how about a light-skinned 39 years old single American man with Spanish heritage and no kid treated over here? They're treated very well. Of course.
Yeah.
Everybody's treated well. A bit too sarcastic for us, maybe, Jordan.
New Zealanders like a bit of sarcasm.
Yeah. Karen Reina says, you guys sound so sweet. Thanks for the info. You're very welcome. JT asks 3. Well, yeah, Melody, you may want to actually have a few more things to say, to be honest.
Only 3? You need to hold up a whole conversation with this lady.
Christina Holden says, I googled it. Eskimo kiss is touching noses. Boom! I was right.
Is the Eskimo kiss? The Eskimos the same in Canada?
I think it's the same. The Inuits, right? Inuit and Eskimo.
I don't know.
I may have been really insensitive. Are Eskimos the same than Inuits?
That's the next thing to Google.
I actually don't know. I
think they are. I think Eskimo is kind of like is it not the slang term for Inuit?
I don't know. I just think that I may have said something very insensitive. I'm sorry. All Inuit and Eskimos that are watching us, I'm very, very apologetic.
Yeah.
I will Google it and I will learn and I will not be insensitive anymore.
Okay.
Oh, Eskimos are the slang term. Okay.
Yeah.
Here you go. So I wasn't too off. Okay, Jordan advised Melodies, you can just watch their video and live through them. Here you go.
Yeah.
Exactly my plan. You're right, Jordan. Right on the ball.
Melody says, "Lol, just playing. You guys are great. I never lied to girls. Almost."
You cannot just burn yourself right here. It's fine. It's fine. Anthony says, I got interested in New Zealand because of a series called The Tribe, which was made in 1999 to 2003 to places in Wellington and Lower Hutt. Then I started looking at Google Map of New Zealand.
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
The Tribe. So what is The Tribe about? Is it like is it a fictional series or is it documentary or what is it? That sounds cool. Yeah, I'm gonna have to
have a look that one up.
Jordan says, just name drop Robin and Laura.
Yeah, you just need to say, oh, New Zealand, I know Robin and Laura.
Also, Jordan says, New Zealand doesn't like sarcasm. I'm in trouble. Well, I actually think New Zealanders don't like too much sarcasm. I'm very sarcastic as a guy, right? I'm extremely sarcastic, and sometimes it lands very flat.
Yeah.
So I think it is wise. And to be fair, when you don't know the culture, in most places where you travel, if you don't know the culture, it's always smart to tone down sarcasm.
Yeah.
It's just a life experience that I learned. I'm extremely, honestly, I cannot stress how sarcastic I am in real life. Here, obviously,
he even has a coaster saying how sarcastic he is.
That's true. But yeah, so I learned the hard way that being sarcastic sometimes just makes things a little bit harder, and now take that on board. We travel a lot. So on top of our New Zealand travel guide, we also have a travel guide for the island of Niue, which is a small South Pacific island, the Tonga, and the country of Fiji as well. And when we travel to those countries, I really take that completely out of my personality, and I'm just kind of like, I just really make sure that I check the sarcasm out, because it really lands very flat over there, and or sometimes it's taken seriously, and it's even worse. So I always advise, if you don't know the culture, try not to be too sarcastic.
Try to tone down the sarcasm.
And only when you kind of start getting it, then you know where you can go with that. Just my opinion on it. Christina says Eskimo is a slang term. Yep. Monozygotic twin says Eskimo is the bad word, Inuit is the right word. Okay, well, here you go.
There we go.
I did use the word Inuit straight away, so that was good. JT say, easy to find work in Queenstown. Laura, take that.
Yeah, so
we have a video on that actually already on the channel, but
we have different experiences of that. I used to live in Queenstown myself when I first arrived in New Zealand, and I went there to get a job. And I lived with quite a bunch of people that were also there at the same time trying to get a bit of job and get a job. And half of us were very successful, others were not so successful. And the reason, I think the main difference, or the reason why some people weren't successful, is because they just didn't really have an open mind. They went there wanting to do one thing only. And it had to work for them. They had to, get the hours they wanted. They had to have the right travel distance and all these very, set sort of conditions. But for those of us who were, we had more of an open mind. We were like, we don't really mind what sort of job we get. We're only here for a short time. You're not getting a career for the rest of your life. And as you just have more of an open mind about things and just go to a few interviews, see what you get. That is when you're going to be successful in Queenstown. But yeah, I mean, if you're really like anal about what you want, then that's when it is a little bit. That's the main advice I would give about getting a job in Queenstown. But if
you're very specific,
yeah.
You want.
So sorry,
just changing your bad word. Specific. We go for the specific.
Yeah.
The other thing that you have to know about Queenstown is that the cost of living in Queenstown is extremely high. The price of rents, even for shared housing and everything, is skyrocketing over the years, and you're probably going to be, as a seasonal worker, only be paid around minimum wage. So this is not going to be a good place for you to save money, because everything else is going to be expensive along the way. So we usually, when people ask us about where to find job in New Zealand, we don't usually suggest Queenstown, just because it's a great place to visit, but not necessarily a great place to work in. There are a lot of other amazing places to work in: Nelson, Christchurch, Rotorua. Those are like big hubs where you can get a lot of very different jobs, and the cost of living will be really good as well. New Plymouth is also a really good city to work in. So there is a lot of other places to work in. Just saying.
Yeah. So just obviously Queenstown is the most is a big name town in New Zealand, but like you're saying on the live chat right now, Queenstown is so small. So imagine the competition, the amount of people living there.
It's really small.
Yeah.
You'll be surprised for such a big dot on the map of New Zealand. Like everybody wants to go there and everything. It's a tiny town.
Yeah, exactly. So that means that the competition is really fierce for jobs down there because everyone wants to be there and everyone wants to work there. Yeah. But there's definitely other places to go.
Yeah. Tauranga is also a great place to work in.
Yeah.
All right. Monozygote Twin says, thanks for all your info. It really helped me with my month in New Zealand. Oh, cool. Awesome. So tell us a little bit, like what we like is that when people come and say, hi and say thank you for popping back in. A lot of people just forget about us afterwards. But tell us what you liked a lot about New Zealand and what, like all those kind of things. What would be tips that you give to people so we can read them out loud and help everyone? That'd be awesome. And also, did you just do North Island or just South Island or both? What's where did you
tell us everything?
Tell us everything. Jordan says, let's start a sarcastic revolution in New Zealand, Robin. Good luck with that.
Yeah.
I don't think Kiwis are waking up for any revolution anytime soon. And that's some sarcasm, but yeah.
Well, that was strictly true.
Wow. Truth bomb. Boom.
Yeah.
Monozygotic Twin says, it's not hard to find work in Queenstown, but it's very easy to be taken advantage of. Here you go.
Yeah, that's true.
La, hey, how are you doing? Welcome back. She was here. Sheila. I call her Sheila.
They
were here. they were here last week.
Yeah,
and we did a whole
answered their question for them.
Abel National Park or Coromandel, which one do you choose? Ooh, I see that you are trying to make some cuts to the itinerary we gave you. Abel Tasman or National Park or Coromandel. I think Laura would pick Abel Tasman, but for Coromandel.
Yeah, I would say Abel Tasman. I think that the beaches and you get a good combination of forest and beaches. It is a national park, so most of the area around there is protected and looks really pristine. It's a really beautiful scenery. Whereas I'd say in the Coromandel, it's not a national park. It has beautiful beaches, but they're backed by towns. It's not looking as pristine and wild as the Abel Tasman National Park.
I like the Coromandel just because of the variety of things that you're getting. You get like big Corey forest if you want to. You've got beautiful moves like Cathedral Cove, sorry. Like Cathedral Cove is beautiful beach and stunning rock formation. You get the Karanga Heki Gorges, which is a really awesome hike through old minefields. So you go like literally through the cliffs of the mountains and everything. It's absolutely fantastic. So I like the entertainment that is provided by such a massive variety of things to do. And there is also an amazing canyoning tour over there. So I love canyoning as well.
There's also canyoning in the Abel Tasman.
That's true. But I think the one in Coromandel is a little bit more epic than Abel Tasman. So it depends. Everybody has different opinion.
Yeah.
But yeah. So here you go. If you want to go, so now you have to choose. La, are you choosing Laura or are you choosing Robin? I am Coromandel. She is Abel Tasman. So here you go.
Let us know what you think.
Yeah, who's winning?
Yeah.
Anthony says so he's talking about. He says the post-apocalyptic show about all the adults in the world died from a virus. And all the kids are left to survive on their own. Check it out.
That sounds rather on theme.
Okay, you know what? I'm actually going to check that.
Yeah, that looks interesting.
I'm going to write it down. It sounds absolutely hilarious.
Hilarious. I don't think that's a vibe they're going for.
I don't know how you can.
I
do not know how you can make that theme too serious.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see. But Anthony, we are going to watch that. So here you go. Or at least one episode until we realize maybe it's not our thing. But if it's our thing,
we're gonna give it a go.
Yeah. JT say, I think your open mind mentality is the best to have. He's talking to you, Laura. Probably why you got the job in Queenstown is small, ? Yes, we already talked about that. And then say, okay, thank you. I'll take that into consideration. You recommend Christchurch or Fun, also Tauranga. Yeah, good, two very good places to get some work. Yeah. Monozygotic. Come on, man. Just another.
Monozygotic
Please
twin.
change that YouTube name.
Just call it Twinny.
Twinny. Okay, you know what? Yeah, here you go. Twinny. Twinny says it's small and that's why rent is high. And then Twinny adds, I went to most places that you recommend, North Island and South Island. My tip is not to skip the Bay of Island in the north. Yeah, it's a really amazing place. Then Jordan says, Robin, I commented several weeks ago about how I love the bungee jump video you guys did. Yep. So if you guys want to type bungee in the channel, you're going to see me miserably failing at bungee jumping. He said, I thought it was pretty powerful, but curious if you've been bungee jumping since, and if so, how did it go? So the thing is, I actually did another bungee jump before that one in Queenstown. Actually, I did one in Taupo about a year before we shot New Zealand's Biggest Gap Year, and I did it. Well, technically, I was naked, so I'm never going to show the video. But and I went through the water and everything, and it went fine. And I was scared and everything, but it went fine. I just don't know what came down to me. Since then, I haven't done it, and I have no intention in doing it again. I'm very happy taking pictures and filming other people doing it. We actually have filmed and taken pictures of other people doing bungee jumping because we needed the pictures for the travel guide, nzpocketguide.com. But no, I don't have any intention in doing bungee jumping. I'm very happy with skydiving. I have done many skydiving since, and I will keep on doing skydiving, and I love skydiving, but bungee is not my thing.
Yeah.
Laura, are you going to bungee jump again?
I do not intend to bungee jump again because it was, I mean, some people really love it and would like to do it again and again. And I've seen people like once they jump, you can do the jump straight away again for like half price or something. So I know loads of people love it, but honestly, I just found it so terrifying. It was, you can see on the videos, I found it pretty scary. I've never screamed that much in my life.
That's beautiful.
I'm glad that I did it because obviously this is if we do a New Zealand travel guide, we have to try bungee jumping. It's a must. So we've done it. We know the experience. Unless there's another reason we have to do it.
And in that case, Laura is taking one for the team.
Yeah, I would do it if I had to do it. If you guys demanded it to be done.
Actually, we've done kind of a bungee, not really, but we've done a big swing in Rotorua after that.
Yeah, that was like a second of free fall with that.
So you can check this one out. That was Agro Venture.
Yeah, the swings are kind of a little easier to do. The big
there's a video of us doing that actually.
Yeah. But yeah. If it's on my own for just I was going to say the shits and giggles, the poos and giggles, I would do it. But no.
Wow. So Laura is expletive central in this one. This video is going to get demonetized.
I know.
Quickly.
I'm trying to keep it on the download.
All right. Online Visa Pro says, can I come on a visit visa and later change to work permit after getting a job?
Well, if you're the Online Visa Pro, then you should be telling us.
So Online Visa Pro, there is a law in New Zealand that says that we do not have the right to give immigration advice if you're not a registered immigration advisor in New Zealand. That's actually illegal to do that. So we won't be able to answer this question for you specifically. So if you give us more details, we won't be able to follow up. However, this is a general question, so we can tell you right now. And no, when you come to visit New Zealand, your main purpose should be to actually visit and tourism. If you come on a visitor visa, you do not have the right to look for a job in New Zealand.
Yeah.
You won't get one because you won't have New Zealand bank account and New Zealand tax number that are necessary to get a job.
Yeah, employers will always
no.
First ask, do you have, a New Zealand bank account? Do you have a work visa? They're very, because there's a lot of overseas workers coming to New Zealand, it's usually the first thing they ask is about, is it legal for you to work here? Basically, do you have a work permit? So,
and then afterwards, when you're going to be in New Zealand on a visitor visa, you're going to contact Immigration New Zealand to change to a work visa, meaning that you're telling them that you were in breach of your visitor visa since you found a job in them. So literally, they're going to know that you've done something wrong. So no, don't do that. If you plan on working in New Zealand, come with a work visa. If you plan on traveling in New Zealand, come with a visitor visa. Twinny. I am not saying that word again. Twinny says, Abel Tasman is stunningly beautiful, and that's pretty much everywhere for New Zealand. Lol. That's very true.
That's true.
And says, just call me Twin. Well, here you go, Twin.
There we go.
Twinny was rude, Laura. Here you go.
Sorry. That was
Apologize
probably offensive.
All right. Rockerbeck says, hello, Laura and Robin. Oh, I love when I said Laura before. Finally, I get to thank you during a live broadcast of all the helpful articles and videos you put up over the years. Really helped us plan our trip during last year.
Cool.
Oh, that's nice. Thank you very much for popping in. That's awesome. What did you do? How long did you travel in November? What did you do? Just tell us a bit of details. Tell us what we helped plan. That's cool. And thank you so much for coming back. I was literally just thanking Twin for coming back and say thank you, but thanks as well. That's awesome to actually have some people just popping in and telling us that what we do actually is helpful to people, and there are some people actually both watching and reading what we do. So it's always awesome. You see numbers, you see hundreds
Stats
of views
on the website.
You see on the website 1 million people there, 4 million people, 9 million people, but you're like, it's just
who are these people? Yeah, it's good to have some sort of actual interactions with some of our readers as well. That's cool.
Yeah, that would be weird if we were getting 9 million thank yous every year. That would be a lot of thank yous to go through. Online user posted, call me Donald. You're very welcome. I call you Donald. Okay, Twin says bungee can be bad for your back spine. Just be careful.
Yeah, they do have before you do a bungee jump, there's a bit of what's a disclaimer of waiver form.
So if they kill you, it's not their fault.
Basically it's they ask if you do have any spinal conditions, or if you do, if you have any conditions, pre-existing conditions to do with your back and your spine. Usually they advise you not to jump, but if you don't have those issues, then usually there shouldn't be a problem with your back and your spine. It's only if you already have pre-existing conditions.
Yeah. And the Tribe TV trailer. Yeah, we'll find that. I wrote it down. Yeah. We'll find that. Okay, Jordan says Laura never disappoints with the bloody expletives. No, she can dish them. She definitely can dish them. You've seen the video where I break my arm. You saw all the expletive right here.
I can't believe that I'm the one getting saying that I'm the one who does all the expletives when Robin is a right potty mouth.
No, absolutely not. How dare you? Okay, JT23 says, I will be starting a blog and making videos soon, so I will let you know how it goes. Awesome. Cool. So one thing that we want to do on the channel, we never really had anyone actually send us full videos just yet and everything. But if you guys travel around New Zealand and you want to make a video out of your travel to New Zealand, but you don't want to start the whole channel and everything like that, you can send us the video and we're very happy to put it on the channel right here. And we do a playlist for our readers video or something like that. So if you guys want to do that, you're absolutely welcome to send us some videos and we'll put them in. And you can put a call to action at the end of the video and say, hey, follow me on my blog, and you put your website, or you can put your link for YouTube or your Instagram or your Facebook or whatever you want. We can put that at the end. We can put a link at the bottom as well, in the description as well. And like that, you can show your video to all our thousands of subscribers, and then more people see more people traveling in New Zealand. It'll be kind of a cool thing to do. So we'd love to start doing that. So yeah, if you guys want to do that, go ahead, send us some videos. Just an idea. One day I'll get starting on that. I've been toying with the idea for so long. Manu say, hi guys. Hi Manu. How are you doing? Anthony says there are two tribes. One is so we're still talking about the Tribe, which is a TV show. Yeah. There are two tribes. One is the series. Then there is a movie that deals with deaf people, which is different type, which is more of an X-rated movie. Okay, so we'll go with the
TV show.
TV show, yeah. We're not really into horror movies. It's really not the style. We like most entertainment, but I think horror movies the one thing we don't. It's stuff from Aliens, but it's not. Is it really horror? I mean, it's always classed as
sci-fi, thriller, horror.
Yeah, it's always classed as horror, but honestly, Alien is not horror.
Yeah,
there is a bit of blood here and there, but that's fun. I mean, there's an alien bursting through a chest, but that's a bit.
I mean, I feel like horror is usually there's not much of a story behind it, but it's kind of just you're there for the gore and stuff. But or maybe sometimes the spooky ghost story or something. Yeah.
But in fact, if you are into horror movies, I've discovered recently something called Killer Sofa, the movie. So if you guys want to check out Killer Sofa, the movie, check that out. It happened. Someone paid money to create that show, and then
that movie
happened. Yeah, that does stuff. So this is terrible. So you see, that's the other side. When it's really, really, really terrible, then I find it very, very entertaining. It's killer so far. God damn it.
Anyway,
What was that?
back to traveling in New Zealand.
Yes, back to traveling. Jordan says, a righty potty mouth. I love the English. Yeah, that's how she behaved normally, And then she's just threw like 20 expletive bombs, And then she's like, all right, potty mouth. I think she's
what?
bipolar sometimes.
Okay.
She has like the pouty mouth and the overly shocked Queen of England. And then Anthony tells us the series, the family rated show. Good.
Okay.
Rockebeck says, Rockebeck about his or her or their trip to New Zealand. Stayed for almost a month and got to cross a lot of stuff off my list, but honestly, 4 weeks are barely enough for one of the two islands, and we went for both. Yeah, that's a feedback we get so often. Quebec. Like a lot of people tell us, like, I wish I had longer in New Zealand. And believe it or not, most people that actually ask us for itineraries and that we help or we plan with, they only come for 2 weeks and they do both islands. It's really a rush. But yeah, New Zealand, honestly, in the perfect scenario, you've got 2 months, 1 month for the North Island, 1 month for the South Islands.
Yeah.
And that's why actually a lot of this channel as well is all about the working holiday visa, which allow young people like under 30 to come in New Zealand and work and travel for up to a year. So you get to work a little bit, do like some part-time jobs, some picking jobs and everything, get some money in the bank to be able to travel a little bit more. And that gives you enough time to actually see a lot of New Zealand. And it's one of the best ways to explore New Zealand. Manu says, please come to visit India. We were going on research of a lost tribe in jungle in the Karnataka. Oh, that's cool. And did you find them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds interesting.
Jordan says, you guys mostly used GoPros when shooting. Yeah, so we had GoPros. They were like the cheap ones back in the time. We used GoPro, like some Hero something. And we
probably
had
Hero 3 or 4.
No, I think they were Hero 4s.
Yeah.
Because they were really dead cheap. We had 4 of those, I think. And we had like some, like one on the gimbal to stabilize it. We had some that we were putting in trees and we were walking past by and everything like that. And some for like, we're screwing to a plane or jet boat or this and that. It was just like nonsense.
We've tried to use as many different cameras as possible. For
we had like boxes and boxes of stuff to have as many angles as we could.
Yeah, we did a little bit of filming on a DSLR camera as well.
And we had a drone, of course, as well, to get some of the aerial shots and everything. But it's not, having a drone, we wouldn't do it again. Just it's too much paperwork to try to be able to film everywhere as well as scanning it around.
The regulations for drones in New Zealand have got really, really strict recently. So if we were to do that same trip again, we would probably change our mind. Well, do things differently, maybe not use the drone as much. Yeah.
And one of the tricks that we actually did for the GoPros, and which would be actually even better now, because now you have those GoPros that also stabilize, so you don't need a stabilizer anymore. So that would be way better because we had a whole machine of like stuff. One of the thing that we did is that when we were placing GoPro somewhere, there is those little attachment that you can have, and that allows you can turn the GoPro from time to time and just lock them in place. So it's kind of a metallic attachment. And so that allowed us, like throughout the tour, for example, we're on a jet boat, right? And you place a GoPro on one spot. And then, you have like for 10 minutes of the tour, you have it like facing you. For another 10 minutes, it's facing the side. For another 10 minutes, it's facing front. And for another 10 minutes, facing on another side, And that allows you to get like 4 different shots. And throughout the video, then we had enough shot to play with because we were doing that with 2 or 3 different GoPro, and that allowed to have a little bit of variety. I mean, by all means, our footage and our filming is nowhere near good, right? It's literally just what a tourist can do. We just had a couple of, we spent a couple of extra dollars to have a few extra GoPros and a few extra angles. So we just thought about it a little bit more.
Yeah.
But by all means, we're nowhere near cinematographers. And the whole goal of New Zealand's Biggest Gap Year is to show you really what you get during the tour and not like do one of those prestigious, really beautiful, inspirational, stunning, scenic videos of New Zealand. So many people are doing that so much better. And it takes hours and hours and days and weeks of work to do those kind of things, like those time lapses and everything like that. We just didn't have time to do that. We had 1 year to write and film and edit and publish videos and all that. We just didn't have time to do any of that. So we just did what we could with as basic as you can. So But yeah, it was fun. Honestly, it turned out quite okay. Like when I look at it back, I always feel like, oh, it's gonna be so cringy and everything. It's okay. The voiceover is really like the thing that
the
I hate.
voiceover is cringy. It took us a while to find our, I guess, the right style of how to do that with the voiceovers. But
even around the end, I was just not happy. I'm not happy with none of the voiceover of any of those videos, but it's okay.
Yeah, you live and learn.
Yeah, exactly. And to be fair, there's still a lot of information. So usually I feel like people are willing to forgive the not perfect videos trade off for all the information that we have in it. Or I hope that you guys are willing to do that. Okay, so that was a long speech about GoPros. Extreme Toyota say, I did a lot of video at the Marai here in Tokura. Oh, cool. If you want to send us a video of the Marai, like if you edit it and just tell us maybe what is, maybe you can do a video about what is the Marai and what is the etiquette for when visiting a Marai.
Like what to do if you visit a Marai, or
exactly what to expect, what to do, what not to do. That could be a cool video, and we'd be happy to post that on this channel if you want to do that. Okay, Rockerbeck say, definitely planning on being back eventually, but at this point in time, no one knows when or if intercontinental travel will be a thing again, and if it's going to be remotely affordable. It will just take time. I think, it won't be, it won't be anytime soon, and it will just take. It will take time. Yeah, I don't.
But it's a good job that you did manage to get your trip in. Before all this nonsense kicked off. Yeah. And
Rokebeck, same thing that I'm saying to everyone. If you feel like sending us a bunch of photos, we always need photos to illustrate NZPocketGuide.com, and we do have a lot of our own, but we always need some more. So if you want to send us like your bulk of photos, and we're happy to obviously credit you on the NZ Pocket Guide for every time we're using it. And so send us a Dropbox or something and send us hundreds of shots. It would be so good, please. You don't even have to edit them. We'll do that if needed. But that'd be fantastic. JT23 say, is it possible to apply for a working holiday visa once you have used your first one? I think it's limited to one.
Yeah, it's like, I think one of the conditions for all the working holiday visas is that you can only get it once. So that's that. Except for there's some companies, it only really applies to people in the UK, I think, but there's some companies that have a special working holiday visa you can do as a separate thing. But in short, you can only do it once. You apply once, you do it once, and that's it. Yeah.
Nice. Jordan says, great tip for the GoPro. Thank you. I'm so jealous you guys got to do that 1 year in New Zealand, seeing the whole country without being too personal. How did you afford it? Most people can't, or they have a job they cannot leave. How did you both make it happen? So we actually addressed that a little bit, Jordan, during some of the wrap-ups video after New Zealand's biggest gap year. We have 2 videos of like the lesson we learned and the questions and everything. But in short, so it has been our job, right? So we've been in New Zealand. We were in New Zealand for a little bit longer before doing New Zealand's biggest gap year. So we were already in New Zealand. We were running a website, which now is nzpocketguide.com, but that used to be called backpackerguide.nz, which was actually already the largest travel guide for New Zealand. So we've been trying in New Zealand already on our own dime a lot before, but very slowly. And then when we actually built that website, which became really popular in the tourism industry and also for every travelers, because I think we have about 9 million unique readers every year, right, on the website. So once we built that, we had a platform to be able to approach all the regions and all the operators, and all of them kind of knew us. So when we popped in, a lot of the time we got the tour for free. And so that's kind of a way to afford it. Aside from that, we were living really on the cheap because even with getting all that for free, you still have to, get all your, travel around, all the gas and all the food and all that. So we were living kind of on the cheap for sure. We were just, scheduling what kind of meals we're going to get and all those kind of things. And so, it basically, when we say we got the tours for free, right? We didn't necessarily really got them for free. We got them for 5 years of work before that.
Yeah.
and especially working online, you make very little money. Like you see on nzpocketguide.com, there is a little bit of advertisement on the website, and that's our only source of income, right? So if you guys don't click on the ads or don't do anything there, we don't get any money there, right? So you really get very little money out of that. Like we don't even get minimum wage, right? We get less than minimum wage, right? But we get perks with that. That means that we get to travel around New Zealand for free. You know, if you watch most of New Zealand's biggest gap year, you know that very early on in the trip, our camper van was extremely rusty and we had to leave it behind. And then we got a camper van from Juicy, right? And then also when we got our camper van completely broken, and then we had to actually buy a new car afterwards. In between, we got a car from Juicy as well. This all stems from the fact that we had a really good relationship with Juicy, because we mentioned them in a few articles and this and that, and so they were willing to say, you know what, you need something last minute, we'll give you a camper van. And also they say, you know, like, you guys have a channel and you help a lot of people, can you put our logo? So if you see, at some point we put their logo on there, and you know, that was kind of a trade-off with them for that. So it by no means means that we are going to be telling you, oh, you always have to only rent a car with Juicy, right? It just means that, you know, they kind of reward for sometimes mentioning them, you know, when it's relevant, and that's all it is. And if you also see all the activities that we've done, we put their logo at the end of the video as well. And it's also, you know, it's also show that we're not just, you know, we're not for sale, right? So we're always very factual. So as I mentioned before, during New Zealand's biggest gap year, we've done activities that we did not like as a personal stuff. You know, there are things that you can't like everything. As humans, we don't like. But when we do the videos, we still make them somewhat entertaining, and also we make them very factual. So when you watch the video, you know if it's your thing or not. And it gets a lot of respect from people, rather than just always giving you opinion or bashing some things and, you know, do this and we're not really doing that. We're very factual, and that gets through. And you see, like even right here, you know, we have Rocketback, we had Twin that just came around and say, hey, thank you for helping us plan our trip. So we do help a lot of people plan their trip, and it's good karma. Good karma goes around. So that's basically how it is. But yeah, so we got a lot of activities for free, but you know, the free it's
more like free,
term
but
and conditions apply. 5 years of work required to get there.
It's not like anyone can just show up and say, I want to do this for free.
Yeah, exactly.
So we had something to offer, and we'd done some work prior to that. So
and we still do, like, you know, we still do a ton of work. You know, we still maintain like nzpocketguide.com. We still publish new articles like every single day. Like I think Laura has a list of like almost 500 articles coming up in the next 10 weeks because you know, there is a lot of questions that are left unanswered, and we're not getting to travel, so we got to make some articles. So, you know, like we do all of that. So that's how, you know, it comes around. And then not everything is free, and sometimes it's kind of like, okay, well, we've got to pay for something, and sometimes there's something we need to skip, and because we can't afford it, and we skip it. Yeah. But for whatever reason, people are always very happy to throw us out of a perfectly good airplane. That's never the thing we struggle to do. People love to throw us out of planes. They just love it. I don't know what it says about our relationship with those people, but yeah. All right, where were we, Jordan?
Moro
Susa says, hello guys, thank you for every suggestion. I'm having an amazing time in New Zealand.
Oh, cool.
Hey, awesome.
I'm glad you're still having an amazing time despite everything that's going on, but that's really good to have a positive attitude,
and hopefully you'll get to hit the road again really soon. So that's gonna be great. JT says, so how did you guys end up in New Zealand? If I wanted to live there one day, what are the requirements? Everybody has a different story. So I think if you ask about requirements, you're asking about immigration kind of stuff. And I think that's we always say it's kind of the thing we can't really address.
Yeah.
But we came to New Zealand, and for us, we started our own business. And that's basically what happened in New Zealand. And so and then there's a lot of paperwork and a ton of immigration fees.
Yeah. So I think like the best thing to do about like seeing how you can live in New Zealand is just going onto the immigration .govt.nz website, and there's like all sorts of links to show you all the types of visas, and you just got to find the one that, you know, would apply to you or works with you, or something you can make happen, because there really is a lot of options, and it's kind of like a whole different thing to go into all that as well. And like Robin says, it is illegal to go into all those details if you're not an immigration advisor, which we're not. So yeah.
Rockerbeck say, cool, we were able to snag some photos of a few fraudulent penguins during Milford Sound cruise. Nice. But to be fair, they didn't turn out that well despite my friend's DSLR.
Yeah.
So hard to take pictures from a boat. It just moves so much and the focus and everything is so tough.
Yeah, we saw some, I think it was in Doubtful Sound, we saw the Fjordland crested penguins, but they're always so far away. Like, they're really quite rare penguins as well. So getting close enough to take a really good photo would be quite an amazing thing. So yeah, I had that exact same frustration. I did get a photo of one, but it was kind of too far away to be a good photo. Yeah.
All right. My new sis is for you too.
My news is for you too. You're not very good at breaking up these names, eh?
Okay, so hello, Robin and Laura. On YouTube, I see nice drone views from travelers in New Zealand. So I consider a DJI Mavic Mini for my holiday in New Zealand. But can you use the drone in national parks? How to know where you can use the drones? Don't get a drone for New Zealand. The rules are tightening every single month. It's ridiculous how hard it is. When you want to fly in national park, you actually have to apply for a permit. You have to pay. It's $75 for each application. I mean, every single time you want to shoot in the national park, $75. We know that. We got to pay that all the time. Otherwise, fines and drone confiscated happen quite often. A drone actually in the Tongariro National Park not that long ago, before the lockdown, actually was taken down and confiscated, and you lose your drone altogether. Plus, you have to pay a fine. So just don't do that. Yeah, and it's not worth the footage and everything. So most of the footage that you see is people which are flaunting the rules. And yeah, you may see a lot of those videos, but you probably see, like, when you say a lot, it's probably 5 or 10. And that means there's 20 of them that got their drone confiscated or fines or anything else.
And also, a lot of those videos are from a few years ago when there wasn't drone restrictions in New Zealand.
All drone videos, almost all the drone video that we use for New Zealand right now are all from quite a few years ago, before the rule was changed.
Yeah, so the new restrictions are sort of come in maybe 1 or 2 years ago, so they've just changed. And yeah, like Robin says, there's a lot of people that are disobeying the rules, and you'll see that people in New Zealand, like people that live here, New Zealanders, they know the rules on drones, and if they see someone when they're out hiking and they see someone flying a drone, they usually don't respond very well to it.
They throw rocks at them.
People will throw rocks at drones. They will, say to the local, the dock rangers and stuff about you. They will basically report you for using drones. So they do take that sort of rule very seriously here. So yeah, just so you know, it's probably just the best idea to not bring the drone to New Zealand.
Moro Susa say, I traveled to Tauranga before the lockdown, went to help a friend in Mount Maunganui. After that, I decided for some days between Rotorua and Taupo, and I read some videos on NZ Pocket Guide and decided to come back to Mount Maunganui for the locking jobs. Now I am working on a pack house and enjoying the challenges.
Cool.
I'm staying at the Pacific Coast Lodge. It's a nice place, good and friendly people make this time goes more enjoyable. Awesome. We love the people at Pacific Coast Lodge. Say hi to Matt and Sarah, which are the two owners, which are really awesome people. And tell us, do Matt also come regularly and still play guitar and sings for the guests? He loves to do that when they do barbecue nights. So tell us if they do that.
And have you seen our videos of us doing exactly the same thing? We actually stayed at Pacific Coast Lodge, and those guys organized for us to go and work in a pack house and do a video on it. So yeah, we did exactly the same thing.
Picking and packing and all that.
Yeah. So have a look on just search on YouTube kiwi fruit NZ Pocket Guide, and you'll hopefully find our videos about when we did exactly what you are doing, which is pretty cool.
Yeah. Extreme Talota says, what's the good drone? So it depends what you define for good. We like the smallest, the better, right? Just because we're always on the go and we need something that we can travel around with and everything. So for us, the smaller, the better. So go on the DJI website, which I think is the only decent kind of drone stuff. I don't know enough about it, but usually we go on DJI and we get the smallest one, and that's basically what happens to us. And we get some extra batteries because we're always on the go. Jordan says, oh God, let's see if Robin can read this. Jordan, I don't like you. Moro says, I'm staying at the Pacific picking jobs. Yep, sorry. And see, Melody, did you hear all the sweet inside info Robin just dropped? Here you go.
Yeah.
Sweet inside info. All right, guys, that was us hanging out with you guys. We went way over time today, but why not? Thank you very much for popping in, and we're here to answer all your questions about traveling in New Zealand every single week on Sunday at 8 a.m. New Zealand time, which is on a Saturday on your time at 9 p.m. in the UK and 10 p.m. in France. If you are in the USA, it is 4 p.m. EST on a Saturday and 1 p.m. PST on a Saturday. If you are in India, it's 12:30 a.m. And if you are in Australia, it's 6 a.m. So thank you very much for joining us. We'll be here every single Sunday. And next week, we will have an update from the New Zealand government regarding all the lockdown and all that. So don't miss that out. We'll make sure that we keep you well informed. In the meantime, there is New Zealand's Biggest Gap Year to watch on the channel, where we tackle 365 activities in 365 days. So that's a ton of content for you to start dreaming and planning your trip in New Zealand. And if you can't make it during a live session, you can put your questions anywhere in the comments of any of our videos, and we'll pick them up and we'll read them and answer them live. So that's basically it. Like and subscribe to support the channel. It's always cool. Share things if you want to. And if you want to read out nzpocketguide.com, it's all free and it's the largest travel guide to New Zealand. Thank you very much for watching. Bye-bye.
See you next week and stay
Bye.
safe.